India, Nepal rating first.
Puja, and it'll come down once again to the India matchup, Suhail, and we would expect that to be the same in the men's and the women's as well. But you're right, when it comes to some of the other teams, they don't often get the opportunity to come onto the mat. against some of these stars from India. Let's start off with a single pointer.
She almost started her raid and Ritu Negi saying, hang on, just tie those shoelaces and keep going. And now in comes the raider, left raider, this time around, Manmati Bist. And they've got some variety in this lineup, looking for the bonus early. Ritu Negi on that right corner, she'll get there. Good work, getting rid of the captain of India early. Manmati Bist opens the account for Nepal.
She was pretty busy in that last matchup.
Pushpa Rana, known as a cover defender, and she's come in. Campaigner Pushpa Rana, 25 years of age, but in this squad at Hangzhou, just 4 players that were part of the 2018 squad. So a little more mercy on the girls than the men. But what about that? A jump over the right corner for Anuja from Nepal.
That was brilliant from Anuja, going over Jyoti. She made that look so good. A nice little passage of play, a nice start for the Nepalese. They picked up 2 points. Not bad.
Might make India think a little bit here now, because after that 34-34 tie, that's what they need to avoid, those silly errors. Pooja Hatwala is a tall raider, and Manmati Bist just looking a bit too eager too early. Back now with Anuja Kulum. After that last raid, she dived over Jyoti. Jyoti now on the bench. You've got Priyanka Palania in the right cover. There is Priyanka Palania. That goes in for a thigh hold, converts into an ankle hold, and the coach is pretty happy.
You look fairly relaxed, and why not? But this is a quality tackle. Excellent ankle hold. Second line of defense coming right in time, and Pushpa Rana will continue. Business as usual for her.
They get the captain of Nepal, Menuka Kumari, onto the bench. 7-2 early lead already for India. 2 halves of 15 minutes, remember, for the women. 2 halves of 20 minutes for men's kabaddi here at the Asian Games. And now you've got a full strength Indian lineup. The 2 chains. On the far side, Ritu Negi alongside Nidhi. In that central chain, you've got Jyoti and Priyanka Palania. Lots of experience with them. Priyanka Palania, one of the 4 girls, part of the 2018 squad, alongside Sakshi Kumari, Ritu Negi and Snehal Shinde. We haven't seen Snehal Shinde really on court, but it's been very consistent 7 that we've seen. No real test of bench strength, because I think the wake-up call really shook the girls versus Chinese Taipei.
They certainly will be tested should they win this game in the next one against Iran. Remember, Iran are defending gold medalists in women's and men's, and so not. We also have the men's semi-final, India versus Pakistan. At the moment, Pooja making light work of the Nepalese, picks up another 1-pointer.
Yeah, in a one-on-one tackle, you're not going to get the better of Pooja Hatwala. Ganga trying to go in with a thigh hold. Now, perhaps the tallest raider for Nepal, Rabina, has a big kick on her, but I've seen in the past a lot of footwork, a lot of fancy footwork, but not too much meat on the bone, if you like. It's not really a targeted approach from her. Looks for the running hand touch on Jyoti. I don't think she's got anything, to be honest. Yeah, nothing. Claiming a touch on the right cover, but not given.
Sometimes the body language gives it away, doesn't it? There was no conviction in what she was claiming for. But Pushpa Rana and Pooja have been wonderful at raid, and they're now down to just 2.
Jayanti Badu also onto the bench. 1 versus 1, you're not going to be successful. You need support coming in, especially in a super tackle opportunity. Remember, when you're down to 3 defenders, that presents a super tackle opportunity. It's the only time when a defensive unit can pick up more than 1 point. Raiders, they can pick up more than 1, and I think she might have more than 1 here. What a raid that is for Sunita Thapa. but just the one in the end. She gets a bonus 2. So bonus +1. When there are 6 or more defenders, she's picked up Priyanka Palania, but got past that bonus line first up.
And the hold just wasn't strong enough. It gave Sunita an opportunity for her to just pivot on the other leg and extend those legs to go past the midline. They're back with 3 on the mat now.
Here's the first point scorer for Nepal today, Manmati Bist. She's a left raider, then slots into the right corner as a defender. Looks pretty sprightly, to be honest. Ritu Negi was her first scalp, now looking for the running hand touch on the opposite corner. Sakshi Kumari. Oh, nervy moments, but there was a chance of a pursuit. India didn't take it. Now Pushpa Rana. Expect this to perhaps be India's chance at an all-out. She might not get greedy though, might be happy taking one away. And that's exactly what she does.
Yeah, that's been pretty much what she's been up to all through this morning. Picks up the 1-pointer, comes back, nice and easy, one step by one step. In India, just like that, drop by drop, they've taken a 7-point lead just about 6 minutes into this first half. Back to full strength.
Chance of the all-out, and there it comes for India. It's Ritu Negi, the captain, launches herself on the right corner, takes care of Manmati Bist, and 3 points come India's way. They will get a point for a bonus, Nepal, but India won't mind that.
Haven't seen much of Nidhi Sharma this morning, and she'll start off with an empty raid. Comes from Himachal Pradesh, 26 years of age. The Indians around that mid-20s. Not a very young unit, but relatively experienced. Like you mentioned, familiar names that have been around for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of sort of mid-20s. Just the excitement coming for me from Pooja Hatwala at 20 years of age.
Makers of SUVs.
Enjoy कर smooth के 4 जबरदस्त flavors. A bottle maybe. Oh so smooth. Oh so smooth.
And they're relying on that to deliver a gold again after the disappointments of 2018. We saw a massive jump over Jyoti from the Nepalese raider. She's celebrating again. I like this work from Anuja Rai from Nepal. Well done. 2 successful raids for her. Technically very sound.
That's the first real time that Pushpa Rana has been taken down. Once again, it's the left corner. Jayanti Badu, excellent ankle hold. And that defense coming in just in time. They needed the defense to come in because Pushpa Rana, she's a strong girl, not strong enough on that occasion. Anuja Rai will settle for an empty raid now.
She's looked really sprightly, Anuja Rai. You know, when you've got technique on your side, you can pull off athleticism as well. They've got great agility, the Nepalese athletes. Now it's back to someone with plenty of athleticism herself, Pooja Hatwala. Now you don't see too many girls pulling off an easy bonus, but she's got the height advantage, which you don't see with too many others in this squad. Meanwhile, men's cricket team in a semi-final ongoing at the moment on Sony Sports 10-1, 10-4, 10-5 and Sony Live.
This gives me the impression that she's far beyond her years, Pooja Hatwala, 20 years of age.
Again, just eager to get going, Manmati Bist. Just has to wait though. Only a bonus was given, so she was allowed to come straight in. I don't know how one of the Indian players ran straight back in. There you go, Nidhi Sharma charged onto court. I was wondering what was happening because they only picked up a bonus. You don't get a revival from a bonus. So Manmati Bisht, she was right in actually running through the midline and coming into court.
Our decision is only bonus. They want bonus with one. Please review it.
So India now want a bonus plus one.
Only bonus.
They want the toe touch on the captain. He says, no, you didn't get me. Menuka Kumari.
Bonus with one.
That reaction from Pooja Hatwala suggests that she got that toe touch on the right corner. Didn't look like it.
Yeah, the captain of Nepal, Menuka Kumari, Rajbanshi, saying, nope, didn't tag me. And the bonus was given. In the end, it has been given on Menuka Kumari. So bonus plus one, and that's why Nidhi Sharma will now be allowed to come back onto court. And she already has.
Pretty swift. She makes it look pretty easy. And like I said, she's very composed. And for a 20-year-old, Sohail, you mentioned that she's certainly one of the stars to watch out for.
Yeah, she is. And like the fact that Manmati Bisht had a little pause, stretched the glute out, then got back into a raid and heads back into that right corner. She's obviously having a bit of an issue on that right corner, number one from Nepal. But in comes the very impressive Nidhi Sharma, 26 years of age from Himachal Pradesh. And very different raiders. You've got Pooja Hatwala, much taller, quicker. Nidhi, much more powerful, more stocky in stature. And then you've got Pushpa Rana, who's kind of a blend of both, with a bit of power and a bit of speed. So India, I think, have a dynamic trio. And in comes the left corner. None other than Sakshi Kumari.
She's been quiet all morning long. And absolute precision on that ankle hold. 12-point lead with a little under 5 minutes left here. Pushpa Rana, obviously, you can just see that the experience that she brings.
Pushpa Rana, part of the squad. You've got Sakshi Kumari, Ritu Negi, Snehal Shinde, and Priyanka Palania, part of the squad from 2018. Our men's team celebrate Nepal at the moment because yet again, Anuja Kulung Rai with another raid point. And you can see the alongside Jayanti Badu. Good passage of play, back-to-back points for Nepal.
Very calm and composed, the coach, but I'm pretty sure she's quite happy with what she's seeing. A double ankle hold coming in on Pooja Hatwala, who's been actually really good all morning long. And I think that's the first real time she's been taken down.
You call it a quadruple ankle hold, maybe, Naveen. You've got the left corner and the left in, both bouncing. Bangladesh, meanwhile, 24 for 3 and struggling versus India. Almost could have been 24 for 4. Sai Kishore manning the boundary line. And nice to see plenty of new options as well with the ball in hand.
But that's not something you'll see too often. Bowling the 7th over of a T20 game, Tilak Verma.
You can see the smile on his face as well when batters are handed the ball. Trust me, it's a feeling you absolutely love.
It's wonderful to just see a lot of the youngsters get their opportunities to wear the India jersey.
Not sure this is a smart move, using Ganga as a raider. She doesn't look too sprightly and a bit slow, to be honest, with her footwork as well. So smart to just go away with an empty raid, slot back into that cover region. I think they've got to stick with the other raiders, Nepal. But Pushpa Rana, to me, she is actually the most vital player in this Indian team. She can play in the cover defense. She's a terrific raider. She can overall the most complete player for India at this edition of the Asian Games for me.
Truth be told, that scoreline 29 isn't too bad from a Nepal perspective.
You've got Jyoti now in the right corner. Navneet, no Ritu Negi since she was tagged and put onto the bench. So Jyoti onto that right corner. Sakshi on the left corner. Jyoti comes in with a lot of experience herself from Himachal. The Raider as well.
Look through that Indian lineup, Sohail. We'll come back to that, but Nidhi has done well. How many has she picked up? One for sure, but did she pick up one or two on the way back? Confirmation, just one. Good on the Nepalese defenders to just stay out of that on the way back. Just about 2 minutes left here in this first half. You run through that Indian lineup, Suhail. A majority of them, at least more than half of them, come from Himachal Pradesh. Very different to what you would see when you see an Indian men's lineup, where the core of Indian Kabaddi comes from a completely different state.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to the women, it's dominated actually by Himachal Pradesh. They got gold at the nationals as well. Himachal, the railways, Maharashtra to some extent, but generally Haryana, Himachal Pradesh and Indian Railways. These are the three sides that do a great job with the women's kabaddi. And when you flip over to the men's side, Haryana, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, starting to see Rajasthan in junior kabaddi come through as well. You've got Karnataka, who have a massive spectator viewership for kabaddi, but from a playing perspective, not as strong. Oh, speaking of Haryana, there is Pooja Hatwala, the left raider, the youngster, with the highlight reel of the day so far.
By far the best moment. Look at that. That is great athleticism. And that double move for her to get up past the midline. 2 points she picked up on the way. She's been really impressive. And this is absolutely quality from India's Sakshi, left corner. Literally pulling the raider back.
Yeah, nice combination tackle, delivering another all-out for India. Sakshi Kumari first, then Priyanka Palania. And just coming back to that point, you actually have one young girl from Jharkhand in this squad, Akshima. So nice to see her in this lineup. Snehal Shinde from Maharashtra, part of it as well. But there is Nidhi Sharma in the buzzer raid of this first half, delivering another 8 point for India. And it is a sizable lead of 19 points after the first 15 minutes in this women's semi-final at the Kabaddi courts. Wonderful effort from our girls, and a big second half to come. India one step into the final.
आज के इतना काफी है।
सर जी, जब पसीना नहीं रुकता तो मैं क्यों रुकूं?
New Limca Sports with real lemons, glucose, electrolytes, and no gas. Time for faster rehydration.
Roads may close, but the way never does. Chimney, never turn back.
जब बात हो देश की मिट्टी की, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं जो हमें अलग कर सके। और इसी जज्बे के साथ कचारिया
Welcome back. It's a very early morning, day 13 of the Asian Games. Just about 7:30, getting there. It's Already a busy morning for the Indian Kabaddi contingent. Women's semi-final action, India versus Nepal, 29-10 the scoreline. 15 minutes into this game, right at the halfway mark. We also have plenty of cricket going on. Semi-final action there as well. It's India versus Bangladesh. Catch all of this on the Sony Sports Network and on Sony Live, while India pick up another wicket, courtesy a catch from the captain, who's a happy man, Ruturaj Gaikwad.
Guess who's got it? Tilak Verma loves to roll his arm over, and he will have a massive smile on his face, and nicely pouched by Rutu as well.
Yeah.
It's a young squad and they're enjoying themselves.
I wonder if he's going to stake a claim as an all-rounder going forward, no matter which team he plays for.
I can assure you he's clipping that and sending it to Rohit Sharma in the next 2 hours. 100%. He's sending him a message saying, Skip, hope you're watching.
And speaking about youngsters, you saw Yashasvi Jaiswal on your screen, picked up 100 in that last game. It's been happy times for the Indian contingent and the Indian cricket team as well. Don't get too many opportunities to experience the vibe and the atmosphere that an athlete's village will give you, because India's never really been a part of multi. That in itself, as a cricketer, is a new experience, and I'm pretty sure they're enjoying themselves. We saw them at the squash, at the hockey, at the badminton as well.
Yeah, it's also therefore nice to see a young squad. You just saw Jitesh Sharma. The atmosphere of by having a chat with the Indian girls. Nepal trailing by a pretty handy margin. And we will have Ankita, Bhajan and Simranjeet in the semi-finals of the recurve women's. They have made it through. More good news for our archers.
And hopefully they can follow suit to what our women's compound team did. Parneet Kaur, Aditi Gopichand and Jyoti Sureka won gold yesterday, beating Chinese Taipei. Let's just hope that we get a few more from our archery team who've been fabulous.
17 years old, young Aditi, 18 Parneet, and of course 27 years old Jyoti Vendam, sort of shouldering the responsibility around them. Amazing to see such youngsters come through as well. 17, 18 years of age, just great scenes across the board. And you've got a young 21-year-old, or rather 20-year-old Pooja Hatwala right there on your screen, number 9. And she's the leader of the pack in terms of the raiders of this Team India contingent. So very positive signs for the next few games as well.
It's first time that I am getting to do a women's kabaddi match, Suhail. And truth be told, I think Pooja Hatwala has really impressed quite a bit. She looks very calm, very composed. Like you said, she uses her height to good advantage. But it isn't just that. She's got the skills to back it up as well. She's got that nice little toe touch.
Yeah, and importantly, I think you need a few youngsters, because then when you go to the next Asian Games, they will carry the mantle forward, and then the next set of youngsters that come through in 2026 will at least have others around them that have been there before. When you look at this squad from India, only 4 players carrying forward from 2018. Ritu Negi, Sakshi, Snehal Shinde and Priyanka Pilania. So very important for the likes of this young girl on your screen, Pooja Hatwala, at the age of 20, to take this experience away, and when she comes back 4 years on, she will know what to expect and can actually bring others the comfort factor of being in the squad. And look at that kick, vicious to start the second half.
Very nonchalant. She, no real fuss, makes it look so easy.
If it's going to be as nonchalant when you get to Iran in the final, because that is going to be some contest.
But listen, we speak a lot about India versus Pakistan. Truth be told, India should walk through that.
Yeah, on the men's no slow backtracking there from Manmati Bisht. Really impressive. She picked up the first points for Nepal in the contest and gets the first points of the second half as well for the Nepalese contingent. Well done, Manmati.
Is that ankle hold not strong enough? And if you give the raider the opportunity to take some momentum back, even if the second line of defense does come in, won't really be helpful. And that's how she picked up 2 points, Manmati, on the way back.
It was Ritu Negi on that right corner. And now for me, she's actually been one of the weaker links actually in this Indian lineup. And I know it's tough to say that about a captain, but you can see it even today. She's been targeted. She's been picked up on the right corner. And I think Iran and their coaches, they'll be taking notes. They will have their eye on this. And a lot will be done from a strategic point of view to understand where any weaknesses might lie within this Indian setup. And the Iranian girls team, who spent a lot of time in Mumbai planning for these Asian games, they will set up for it. Both corners wiped out in a flash. Jayanti and Manmati gone.
Yeah, looking for that toe touch. Very smart there. Ritu Negi just to retreat on time. Got into double digits at least for starters, Nepal. Nothing on that.
I'm not sure actually what the role of the captain for Nepal is. No disrespect to Menuka Kumari, but apart from the toss, she's not really had an impact on this game. So, I understand that in Kabaddi, you want someone who's just a calm, composed head, and she is someone who's marshalling her troops around. But I have to say, I question her spot in the starting 7-9. I think there could be an opportunity for another young girl to come off the bench. But going on to the bench on that occasion will be Sunita Thapa. Nothing she could have done. There's a lot of support for the Indian Kabaddi contingent. And we see a lot of oohs and ahs in the stadium. And you'll see more when the men come out as well. China growing their love for Kabaddi as well. And moments like that will certainly help. A clean-up act.
Who else? But Pooja Hatwala. That's one. Will get a nice little touch on her way back on Rabina Chowdhury. 2 for the touches, 2 for the all-out, and 4 to India's tally. Pooja Hatwala will make her way out.
I like these substitutions now. Finally, we're seeing a change come in. Snehal Shinde, one of the more experienced campaigners, one of 4 players to be a part of this squad back in 2018. And also, I was talking about the one player from Jharkhand, and it is Akshima who comes onto court for her first outing as well. So Akshima, known to be a raider, Snehal Shinde. So I want to see where she slots in. Another pursuit, perhaps, attempted. Sakshi Kumari, otherwise, should not be on this side of the court. Our left corner defender. And she heads away. Empty raid.
India got into the 50s in the last 2 matches. Did concede in excess of 20. Though, on this one, you expect them to get into the 50s. Just about the right form going into that big final. In all likelihood against Iran. It is Iran versus Chinese Taipei in the second semi-final. And that's later today as well.
Again, positive signs for Nepal when it comes to a couple of their raiders. Not too much to take home, but I'm not sure why Sakshi Kumari is raiding, to be honest. She is our left corner. You've got to just keep that role definition going and let the others come in and have a go. You've just brought on someone like Akshima from Jharkhand. Why not? I'm a little disappointed to see Sakshi Kumari raid twice. You've got Akshima in that left in position alongside Sakshi Kumari, number 15. She should be ushered in to get her first raid. And Ritu Negi back in that right corner now. Priyanka Palania tagged. One of the experienced campaigners. Well done, Nepal.
Do or die raid now. First time we've seen one this morning. What is a do or die raid? Is if you've had 2 empty raids prior to this. And in a do or die raid, you have to pick up a point, but because otherwise you will concede that point to your opponent. Nidhi does the job on that occasion, picking up the left corner.
Funny to think about it, but I just wonder, and this is sort of the management hat coming on, nothing for me, because We saw back-to-back empty raids from India. I wonder whether that was tactical to put a bit of pressure on Nidhi Sharma. Maybe the coach wants to see her under pressure. Maybe the coach is who to utilize in do-or-die raid situations versus Iran when the time does come. We're not getting do-or-die raids at any stage, really, up against that. It might be one of the first few do-or-die raids in the entire campaign for India, if not the first. So therefore, maybe a tactical move to say, okay, let's play on the do-or-die raid strategy and let's try a few different girls to see who our do-or-die raid specialists might be.
And you saw the empty raid come right before this as well. So you would imagine that it might happen again. We're building it up, aren't we? India versus Iran.
Well, you've got to do it. You've got to play these situations in matches. And it has to happen. Looking for the bonus that time, Pushpa Rana. And I think that's smart, really good forward thinking from the coaches. And you don't see that too often. And that's why maybe you've got three coaches. Coach Bhaskaran, been around a long time. Tejaswini Bai, a legend as a player, but new to a coaching role. And you've got, alongside them as well, some experience in Kavita Sevaraj.
Yeah, just talk us through that next game. I know we'll come there eventually, but the Iran women's team, here's the thing. I always look at India versus Iran as far as Kabaddi is concerned, a lot like India versus Pakistan in cricket. I'll come back to that.
सर जी जब पसीना नहीं रुकता तो मैं क्यों रुकूं?
New Limca Sports with real lemons, glucose.
Number 12 now. Red Nepal.
Coming back, we just have just about 7 minutes left in this game. It's a semi-final matchup. You could see her wanting to review it.
That's the most animated ask for a review I've ever seen, I think.
They take every point that comes their way.
Please review it.
Issue decision is no touch, not out. Nepal says otherwise. Just coming back to what I was talking about. We'll come back to this. That's well, that's tough to call from that angle at least. She's very confident she got the touch, and Snehal is saying, "Where is that coming from? I didn't feel anything."
Rabina Chaudhary, the raider, looking for the touch on the run on Snehal Shinde. And you can understand for Snehal Shinde, she's not really had too many minutes on court. So the last thing she wants is a failed tackle to go into her account. She was pretty confident. Sometimes when you're running backwards, you don't feel the touch on the shots.
It's tough to say. Really not conclusive on that occasion. What happens if it's not conclusive?
Stays with the on-court decision. So no times for Snehal Shinde. Very experienced campaigner, Snehal from Maharashtra. The only girl from Maharashtra in this squad, 31 years of age. One of the most experienced players in this squad. She already has an Asian Games silver to her name from 2018.
India have 2 golds prior to that, and the only time they took silver was in the Jakarta Games last time, losing to Iran. There you go. The point done, Nepal. Back to the cricket. 45 for 5. Not looking good for the Bangladeshis. Ravi Bishnoi in action. You expect the unexpected when he's bowling. He's quite the start at a really young age.
Lovely moment there for young point for India. And it's a wonderful moment when you make your debut for your country and get the opportunity to serve your country in sport. And serving up some tackles at the moment are Team India.
How was that from Priyanka? She almost did that on her own. Double thigh hold.
Yeah, superb strength. And Priyanka Palania will give you that. Again, plenty of experience there, 28 years of age. And now Akshima, a super raid on her India debut at the Asian Games. And it is a wonderful moment for Akshima from Jharkhand.
Absolutely brilliant. You could see that anticipation, seeing the right corner come in, and she already made that move towards the midline. And she got a couple more points on her way. Picked up 3, first super raid of the morning, and now some changes.
Good to see more changes come in. Pooja Narwal from the Indian Railways will come into the occasion as well. And that's nice to see. Nidhi and Pushpa Rana will get a breather. And that's a positive as well. I think Sushma Sharma, another Himachal raider, has come on too. And you'll see her in that number 1 jersey. So nice to see the changes come in. And here comes Pooja Narwal. Another lovely moment for the left raider from the Indian Railways.
Narwal. It's new that we see a Narwal on a Kabaddi mat, isn't it? Does it ring a bell at all?
There's plenty of them. Plenty of caliber and plenty at the Indian Railways as well from a women's Kabaddi perspective. Oh, Sakshi Kumari. Wow, that is unbelievable. That is just a show of strength and a solo effort.
You saw that special effort on raid from Pooja Hatwala. That was going in the highlights package. Put this one from Sakshi Kumari. That is just all muscle and power. We'll see plenty of it in a big men's final when it comes to hockey. India versus Japan. That's going to be a cracking contest later in the evening at 4 p.m. Don't miss out on that.
Now that's a big one because Japan are defending champions, but India have beaten them 4-2 at these games. We've beaten Japan 5-0 in Chennai at the Asian Champions Trophy as well. And it was 1-1 in an intense draw in Chennai before that. So a lot of history between those two sides. Japan defending champions. And also what's at stake is automatic qualification for Paris 2024 with a gold medal. So India will be eyeing up Japan at 4 p.m. Oh, can't wait.
It's a big one. Really tough for the Indian hockey fans when we went down in the semi-final in the women's category. That was a tough pill to swallow, losing 4-0. But hopefully the men can make up for it. Well, coming back to what I was talking about, it's funny that when you're doing Kabaddi, you really don't get a chance. All happening so quickly.
I'm going to quickly finish the cleanup act all out for Akshima. Oh, come on, Akshima. Get greedy. Oh,
It's
come
been a
on.
good start for her. Take nothing away from the 25-year-old. But the way I look at men's Kabaddi is like India versus Pakistan in cricket. It's India's batting versus Pakistan's bowling. It's always been that way. It's India's raiders against Pakistan, against Iran's defenders when on the Kabaddi mat. How do you see India versus Iran when it comes to women's Kabaddi? Talk to us a little bit about them. Are they known for their raiding prowess, the defenders like their men's team?
No, again, a mix actually. And you've got a couple of tall raiders from Iran. Oh, speaking of the defense though, Sakshi Kumari. She charges in. You cannot turn your back on Sakshi Kumari. Finds out the hard way, and there comes another all-out to India. Sakshi is cleaning up in today's fixture on that left corner for India, and changes galore for Nepal. Nice to see the opportunities come in as well. And a substitution. The captain goes off. Practice a lot of wrestling. They have deep roots in wrestling in Iran, and a lot of the coaches use wrestling moves for their defense. So you'll find defenders in very awkward positions, but they pull off an unbelievable tackle, much like the men do as well. There's a lot of tact when it comes to the Iranian women's team too. We actually have an Indian coach across in Iran doing a lot of work with them. They spent, I think, close to 12 to 14 days in Mumbai before the Asian Games, preparing their girls for these games, playing against local teams from Maharashtra. And I guess the ominous sign is that they said they weren't tested whatsoever. They came through unscathed, and they actually said they needed better teams to play against as a preparation. So they're not sure how ready they are for India, but that is a tough sign. Oh, well done. Pooja Narwal from the Indian Railways, tall left raider, gets an outing finally and gets 8 points in her name.
It's all about the peripheral vision, isn't it, in Kabaddi? Anticipation. You're constantly looking where the defenders are coming from. That is just quality from Priyanka. Strong hold, that single leg thigh hold. In India now on the verge of cleaning up once again. They just had an all-out literally a couple of minutes ago, and they're now down to just 2, the Nepalese. India racing through.
Right now, this could be 2 all-outs in the span of, I think, a minute and a half, actually. You're right. It's unbelievable. Oh, wow. Now Pooja gets involved with the tackles. And she's showing you that she is a true all-rounder. Pooja Narwal. And that's kind of how the Indian Railways girls have played their kabaddi.
And India are into the 60s. Didn't quite look like it when we started the second half, and that will...
They have in a short silver or gold at the Asian Games. Our women's kabaddi team have qualified for the final here in Hangzhou, beating Nepal. Lovely to see all the smiles on the Nepalese girls as well. They will pick up a bronze here at the Asian Games for the first time in history. And it's 61-17, a resounding win for the girls in blue.
They had their moments, certainly, in their campaign. That win against Bangladesh, they'll cherish for a good amount of time. And even in this match, at least 2 to 3 instances, glimpses that Nepal Kabaddi will hopefully move forward in the right direction. The Indian contingent, it doesn't...